Oh, the sun. That's funny. Hey guys, welcome back. We are headed to Canadian Tire and the Dodge dealership to buy a cabin air filter and an engine air filter, and today we are going to change them. I think it's really important for all of us to know how to do basic maintenance in our vehicles, obviously, and this looks pretty straightforward. I've never actually done it before in the ProMaster, which is ridiculous because it's got to be really dirty, especially given some of the dusty roads that I've been driving down while I was camping and such. So we're gonna go do that. Actually, one of them's cheaper at Canadian Tire, the other is cheaper at the Dodge dealership. They're not that far apart. I gotta go into town anyways, because you're supposed to technically do it like twice a year, or if you're like doing a lot of dusty roads, which I do, and I haven't been doing that, especially the cabin air filter, from what I understand. Anyways, I'm going to show you how to do it on a brand ProMaster van. It'll obviously be different for your vehicle. You'll be able to find that information in your manual and on YouTube University, where I learned to do pretty much everything. So let's get to Courtney to do that. And then when we get back here, I'll set up the tripod and I'll show you how easy this is to do in theory. Engine air filter. Now we're going to Canadian Tire to get our cabin air filter because it's cheaper there. Okay, so we're back and we have our supplies. The first thing we're going to do is the cabin air filter. Now, most vehicles, you access your cabin air filter from the inside through the glove box. But the ProMaster is different. And with her, you got to access it through the engine compartment. And the air filter is actually right in here. Let me show you. Okay, so the cabin air filter is right in here. It's in here. There are two screws that you can barely see, but one there and one there. I have seen some videos where they take this off, but this does not look like it's easy to come off. So we just unscrew. This drops down and then we exchange it. Looks like it's going to be very dirty. All right. So for this, we need a Phillips screwdriver, which is the star head. And because this is such a short distance, I'm going to use these. I don't really like them, but I don't have like just a little really short one. And I don't need to pull these out all the way. I just want to loosen them up enough for that to drop out, because I don't want to lose these screws. And that's what's going to happen if I pull this out all the way. Pull these screws out all the way. So, anyways, let's get this off. There. So it drops down. Oh, look at how dirty that is. You'll see what I mean. So the whole thing comes out. Now, you can technically just replace this, but I can't find any of the filters that are just this. And the new filter that I got, look at the, color difference. Comes with the whole piece. If you can find just the filter piece, it's going to be cheaper. But I could not, at least not here, in stock. So we'll have to dispose of that. Now we put this in, and it goes in like this with the piece up. If you're just going to replace the filter piece, you can unclip these clips and this will come out, but we're not going to do that. So we set it in there and we bring it up to, so these holes match the holes, the screws. And then I'm just going to start these by hand so that's a little easier. And now we're just going to screw these suckers in. And it'll take a few minutes because it's such a weird angle. Okay, so now that's, get the pine needles out of there. Now the air filter, the cabin air filter is done. Now what's next? What's next is our engine air filter. And it looks like this. This one's a little trickier. And of course we're working with tight, in tight spaces, but let me show you where that is. So the engine air filter is right in here, which means that this hose needs to come off. There are two clamps, one over here and one over here that need to come off. Of course it's going to be awkward, but once that's off, then we can unscrew, I think there's 4 bolts or 4 screws here. We can get this off and put the new one in. In theory, it's not going to be, it's not complicated, as with most things. It's not that it's complicated, it's that, sorry, I'm just trying to get you in a position where you'll be able to watch me do it and laugh. As with most things, it's not that it's complicated, it's that it's in an awkward little space and we have to figure it out. We can do it. I have faith in us. So I think instead of using this thing, I'm going to try and find it, use my flat blade screwdriver, because the first thing we have to do is get these clamps off, which are hard to see. We're not going to take them all the way off. We are just going to loosen them enough to get the hose off. So we don't want to take the clamp off. That one was pretty straightforward. This one I think is going to be, yeah, oh, maybe. Can I get in there? There we go. There we go. You can't see, but it's coming off very, very slowly. Or coming loose, not off, loose. Very, very slowly. All right, is that enough to get it off? Nope, not yet. It's enough to get, I think it's enough to get it off of that one. Let's see if I can get it off of this one. These things always look easier. They always look easier online when you're watching a video, don't they? Okay, you know what? Maybe I don't have to take, oh, there it goes. There's the other side. Okay, so we've got this off. Sure hope I can put it back on. So now we have this, and there is the engine air filter. And so there is 4 screws that need to come off. There we go. Okay, still not, but this can be done this way. All right. I'm going to get you out. Get you off. Nah, I'm just going to leave you there. Put the new one in. Now, let's try and get this in here. Oh boy. There we go. Come on. There. That's not going anywhere. Now we need to put the hose back on. This is going to be fun. And so we just need to fit this in to both spots simultaneously, making sure that it's in there. Get in on the bottom. There we go. That's getting it closer. There we go. Oh yeah, I can feel that going in. Okay, so that one looks like it's on there nice and snug. So let's tighten that some-ish up. Okay, and now we need to make sure this one is on there flush. Okay, that's solid. That's solid. That took longer than it needed to, but most things do. So we have the new engine air filter on, and this hose is back on. We have the new cabin air filter on, and my phone went dead, so it's plugged into my Jackery. Thank goodness for the Jackery. So now I'm going to clean up, and my screwdriver fell. Let me show you where it fell. My flathead screwdriver fell, and it fell into this little pan here. You can't see. I heard it hit the rubber, and unfortunately I can't reach that. gonna try and reach that. Success. The goal is always to leave a project with the same number of tools you started the project with. So, I'll just grab everything and I'll put it away after. But I'll make sure I don't leave anything in here. Grab my jackery. Hopefully the phone doesn't go dead now that it's not plugged into it. And we are good. Can I do this holding you? Okay. And that, my friends, is that project. So you can see just how dirty this thing was in particular. This is the cabin air filter, and that's really gross. I think the engine air filter is definitely dirty, not as dirty as the cabin air filter. So you might be thinking, do I need to replace my filters? And the answer is, do you breathe while you're inside your vehicle? Both driving, camping, that sort of thing. If you do, and I'm sure you do, you need to replace these. And don't wait as long as I did. That was way too long. I've had this van, well, a long time, since 2020, I think it was. And I have never replaced those filters. And I am pretty sure that when I've taken it in for oil changes and stuff, I don't recall them ever saying they were replacing the filters either. Future me coming in here. I've looked at my service records and they have replaced the engine air filter, but I see no mention of the cabin air filter. So that has not been replaced. Sophie, what do you think about that? Which is really gross. So I'm gonna order some of just the filter pieces, just these pieces online, because I can replace just those inside the plastic casing that's in there, and it will be a lot cheaper. So I'm dirty and I've got to clean up my tools, and then I am going to eat something because I'm starving. I'm headed to Salt Spring Island tomorrow to visit a friend who's just moved there, and I'm going to video that, and that will come to you in an upcoming video. I'm not sure when. So anyways, I hope you guys found that useful, and that you realize that even though projects always take longer than you think they are, there's always more fiddling around to it. You can do it. Just go online, do your research, watch videos, preferably watch videos by mechanics, and then give it a try. Certain things like this you can do yourself. There's a lot of things I wouldn't do myself. The cabin air filter I knew I could do myself, and then when I watched the video by this mechanic and he did the engine air filter, I thought, well, that doesn't look that hard. You know what the hardest part was? The bolts, the screws were seized. That's what the hardest part was, not the actual doing of it. It was pretty straightforward. So guys, I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you're staying safe. Remember, in a world where you can be anything, be kind, including to yourself. Let me know if you give this a try. I love you, and I'll see you next time.